Okay, so what we have here is a 2018 Ford Mustang. Customer came in the other day. He had some issues with his doors. I guess he acquired this car from his father, but nonetheless, he's having some issues. So came in and was like, can you help? So he said, yep, this car has a vertical door brand kit on it. So as you see, there's major alignment issues. The other big issue that's going on here is when this door goes up, watch the play in this. That door can just swing freely, and that is not good. Now, that's not necessarily the kid's fault. That's the installation. Whoever did the install on this car, that's their mistake. You know, with vertical doors, not the company, but just in general, like even our kit, installation is the most important part of any successful job. I mean, when it comes to installing vertical doors. And if you don't know the ins and outs of the kit, or the process, the shift points, the movements, all that kind of stuff, you're gonna have issues like this. So we've got a video that we're in production right now of making for a vertical door kit that we pulled off the C8 kit. So we're gonna kind of go over some issues as to why these problems kind of happen with their kit. But nonetheless, we're gonna get this one squared away as best as possible for him, and then also make some adjustments. So for future adjustments, which this kit will always have to have future adjustments, that it's a lot easier for him to be able to do on his own and not have to pull this whole car apart. Unfortunately, with what's going on with this one, we have to actually remove the fenders in this one, both passenger and driver's side, and get that taken care of. So we're gonna go ahead and do that for him right now. Hey, hooker. Yeah. Do you know where my black light is, the foldable one? Thank you. Hey, yeah, I'm black man. I'm black man. Wow, they really fucked that up. So as you see here, this little section right here on the vertical door kits, and this is every kit, doesn't matter if it's a C8, C7, Mustang, Camaro, this area right here, primarily this bolt, is all that dictates how high this door goes up and down when it's seated in that down position. But as you come around here, let's get the light in a better position, you'll notice that this bolt is kind of indented in the middle. And you see all these impact strikes and how this is mushrooming and just flattening over time. Because as this door goes up and down, it's making contact back here on this little steel block. And as you see the damage that it's doing here, it's indenting that over and over and over again. And over time, the combination of this bolt mushrooming and then this one indenting, this is what causes these doors to fall out of alignment to where you have to constantly make adjustments. But the problem here, when this was installed, they didn't allow the compensation of the room to be able to do that to get this bolt. So when you install them the way that even in their instruction manuals claim, they want you to take this bolt right here, this nut, and screw it all the way down against this plate when you set the alignment when you first install it. Well, the problem with that, with vertical doors, is that the shocks break in. And once the shocks break in, the doors start to sag. Every kit does it, even our kits do that. The difference, which we'll describe and we'll explain later between their kit and our kit when it comes to this specific situation, is that when you follow their instructions and you bolt that nut all the way down, you put your car back together, you then are in a situation is you can't adjust to lift that door up without taking the fender completely off the car again. I believe that that's not really friendly or user-friendly. So our kit was designed in a different way, and we'll show that to you here shortly. But we're gonna go ahead and back this nut off this thing and be able to allow more space for that bolt to go down to make contact with that plate to then raise that back door up so it closes without making contact with the striker. So we're just backing this nut off to allow for space to let this bolt go down more, which equates to lifting the back of the door up. And depending on how easy this bolt spins, it's not loose. When we have to make these adjustments and, you know, repair the kind of shitty installs, the crappy installs, situations like this, if that bolt's really loose and lubricated, because sometimes the oil gets down in the threading and then it's hard to make contact to where you now then have rattle issues and stuff like that, where it can come, you know, loose and move. We'll take this bolt completely out, put a little blue Loctite in there, make it sturdy and stiff so it will never move, but it's still adjustable with the proper Loctite. So it looks like we're probably gonna have to do that with this one, or it looks like we're not gonna have to do that with this one because it is pretty tight in there. But we've allowed enough space to bolt that down a little bit more to allow the doors to finally be able to close properly and be aligned properly. So now the other issue on this door is caused by this bolt right here. So this bolt, as you see back here, it's supposed to come out to prevent this door from opening past where it needs to open for the clearance to go up and down. So simple solution, we're gonna tighten that and make that tight up against the back part of the frame, and that's gonna prevent the door from coming out further than it needs to come. So this door is still hitting. Now we need to raise it back up. So we're gonna make some adjustments. Jesus Christ. Freaking heavy. Try that one first. Come down. Okay, so what wasn't possible when this customer showed up was to be able to get this door aligned to be able to close like this. Now the door closes perfect. And one of the other kind of just weird design flaws here is that they don't use actual bearings in their kit, like at all. As you see here, it's basically just a hole and then a rod coming through here, and this is like put in here and then it, you know, spins as it moves. However, you see a greaser here and one here and one here. So it's metal on metal movement, relies on greasiness. Now how often do you have to grease that? That's the main question. Vertical doors' manuals don't tell you how often you have to use it. If you live in a hotter climate or if it gets hot, it's gonna get soft, it's gonna run out. Like eventually you're gonna have to add more grease. This thing's gonna start to squeak. It's gonna, you know, and that's not just in those areas. It's also because of their shock design, how this is metal on metal too, as it rotates, that part starts to squeak. This is why when we used to install their kits, we always used to tell people get a spray can of silicone and then spray it every few months to keep everything lubricated and to prevent those types of premature squeaking. But this is just a flawed design, because to get to those two grease zerks back here, as you see right there, you have to take the whole front end apart. Not good. And not convenient. So let's go ahead and get this fender put back on. So before I put the fender back on, I'm gonna go ahead and complimentarily spray. This is the silicone I'm talking about. You wanna make sure, if you have a vertical door kit, you wanna make sure that you use pure silicone. Do not, and I repeat, do not use WD-40. You can use WD-40 brand, but make sure it's pure silicone. And you're literally just gonna spray the whole thing all over. It doesn't really leave any residue, but it will get in there and it will make things so much smoother and get all those little creaks and squeaks and all that stuff out. And it's like $7 at AutoZone. It's not a big deal. Get spray silicone. And if you get hungry, get some beefaroni. I have no idea why that's sitting on our shelf here. But that's just so random. Like, just so random. A can of beefaroni. Just, you know, work shit, work stuff, work stuff, work stuff, work stuff, work stuff. Beefaroni. What the hell? Working with a limp. Yeah, our laser tube finally went out. It's been like 2 years, so we ordered a new one, but it was shipped to our old location. They got notification they're gonna send it back to the sender, and we're like, no, 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 we can't afford to not have that now, so give it to us now. So we just have to go pick it up. Show you this. Closes beautifully. Closes like it's supposed to. Gonna do the passenger side. So the passenger side, as you see, closes fine. So it doesn't have the issue that the driver's side, but that's normal because most of the time, if the car is being used, you're 100% guaranteed to always have a driver, right? So there is a slight alignment issue here, but as you see, the door does close pretty good. Not bad, but as I get closer, you can hear through the mic. Hold on. You hear that noise. So it is a little bit low. So we're gonna go ahead and do the passenger side too. Obviously the passenger side also suffers from the same issue of just not installed properly and allowing all of this play when it's up in the air. So we're gonna solve that. And while we're at it, we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. We're gonna back that nut off, allow for some space there. So when this door does need to be adjusted, because again, it's a vertical door kit, so this will always need to be adjustment forever. He has plenty of space to do so without having to tear apart the whole car like we're doing right now. So we're gonna go ahead and get this one pulled apart and get the preventative kind of adjustments done for this side, as well as make that adjustment for that lateral motion. Fun. Gotta love when they're installed wrong.